That's right. Are we live now?
Yes, we are. What's up, everybody? It's Chris Lawrence on my YouTube channel right now. Sorry it took us a while to get this all updated. I'm not going to blame it on Mike, but I'll blame it on the weather or something. I'll blame it on something. That sounds good. and for this show, we're going to be doing Clash of Champions, Raw predictions and match card, and I also have the one and the only Jake Demarco from the Raw review on the Joe Cronin show with us. What's up, Jake?
That's right, baby. How's it going? Thank you so much.
What's up, Jake?
How's it going, Mike?
Oh, it's going, man.
It's going.
Because it's going. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, sorry it took me a minute, guys. Like, I had some issues, and then I was trying to think of like a cool intro or something. That's what I was telling Jake. I was trying to think of some cool like intro or something to put with there, and I didn't want to pay money for it or anything. And then my friend had said, "Well, why don't you just use like you've been in 9 bands? Why don't you just take one of your demos and call it a day?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't think about that." And then it's me trying to go around the house trying to find it, and I was like, "Nah, fuck it. I'll do that some other fucking time." But what was I even gonna say? But how are you, Mike? How's everything going with you?
Oh,
Good.
it's going pretty good. I'm still unemployed at the moment, but I've got several applications in at several different places. So I've been doing applications online like a madman. So
Hell yeah, man. 'Cause I've been there, man. I'm in the same boat. As many applications and stuff I put in, I still get told well, you're gonna have to lift this, you're gonna have to do that, and you have to stand. And I was like, man, I can't do any of that. Like, I can't lift a lot. Yeah. I technically, I'm not even supposed to be drinking anything, but every now and then I'll have a beer. But it's still not good for me either. But
no, certainly not. But you got to live life, you know.
Well,
you
yeah, trying to live life.
Do what you can.
Oh, yeah.
Do what you can.
So before we get into it, you guys excited about the pay-per-view at all?
Somewhat.
Excited? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know why I look forward to pay-per-views? To be honest with you, this is gonna sound corny, but it's you guys. I fell in love with wrestling again when I got involved in Joe's show. It rejuvenated my old affinity that I had. I really had a hard time, swallowing the pill that WWE put forward. The creative team, obviously, you hear me complain about it nonstop, and being able to not only vent my frustrations with Joe on the show, but to communicate with all the fans and everybody from the hashtag Cronin Club has really lit that spark, brought that fire back. So I get excited to go on the reviews and talk with everybody on Twitter and things like that. That hive mind sense of you. But that's what I'm excited for, is catching everybody after the show tomorrow night. So regardless of whether the show itself, the pay-per-view, is good or bad, it's always great catching up with everybody afterwards. So I'm excited for the pay-per-view for that.
Yeah, I always look forward. Like, sometimes I catch myself going, am I honestly like excited for the fact of that I get to hear someone review the show more than I actually am of the actual pay-per-view. I've catch myself a lot doing that, going, "Oh, I can't wait for JD's review or Joe's," and then at the end of it, I'm just like, just for them, I guess, to say that it sucked, because I'm gonna say it sucks too. So maybe it's just one of those things where like I feel like it's that connection. So it's just like,
if I can't
say it, yeah, validation, yeah. So if it's cool with you guys, I'd like to go a little bit down the. I'm gonna try to see if this shit worked out for me good, because I tried to set it up to where it actually looks a little bit nice when I go through these or whatever. But
being professional.
Yeah, I gotta try to be professional. But we want to maybe start it off with, I think it's the kickoff show. Is that's Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax? I'll take it over to you first, Mike.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much gonna be a squash match like it was on Raw, probably.
It's gonna be an ass whooping.
Yeah, it's gonna be an ass whooping, definitely, Jake. It'll be some nice filler, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we haven't seen Nia Jax get into a real credible feud yet. So this
No.
match, hopefully, she'll be able to have a little bit more time to work with Alicia. I don't want to see it be another 40-second squash. That's probably what we'll get. But so long as she moves on to real opponents, then we'll be okay
Yeah, you tell him. Yeah, you tell
with
him.
it.
That's my little boy chiming in.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jake. Like it's to me, it's just gonna be like not. I don't want to use the term jobber match because I know a lot of people like to use that terminology, but I Nia for there's no way I see Alicia Fox winning this. It has to be all Nia Jax, and I'm just curious to see where they go from here with her as being a dominant force in on Raw. You know, it could go either way, but I hopefully after Sunday's pay per view, we'll start seeing a little bit more of Nia Jax involved in the Raw Women's Championships.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I don't have them in order. I'm not quite sure what because they seem to change sometimes. But I know the next one I got on here is the best of 7 with Cesaro versus Sheamus. A lot of people are calling it the toilet match of the night, but I don't know. My opinions is like I feel like Cesaro has to win this. But if they're not going to have that many swerves of the night or anything like that, then we could see a big swerve and see Sheamus win it, and maybe Sheamus go on to do something else there. Maybe my opinion is if they were like if what I would do is have Sheamus beat Cesaro, and you just have Cesaro so mad maybe because like he cheated or something like that, and have him be so mad and irate that he wants to leave Raw. And then they draft him over, free agent or whatever, over to SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea there. I've heard that thrown around here just the last couple days, so that could be a possibility there.
I mean,
it keeps going back and forth. This is the first match that I don't have a definitive prediction in my mind. I keep going back and forth because logically I can see both of them winning it. I mean, there's reasons both men. I think Cesaro deserves it more, but you could also say that Sheamus has been in the company longer. He deserves to be, he deserves that recognition. But I'd prefer to see Cesaro win it, so I'm going to pick Cesaro myself. But realistically, like I said, either man has a claim to that 7th win and overall victory. So.
Yeah, Jake. Sheamus. He pretty much gets the Dolph Ziggler treatment.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
right.
yeah, I could possibly see him winning it, and then them drafting Cesaro over to SmackDown.
Well, I think it was. I don't know which review it was because honestly, I watched a shit ton of reviews. I know it sounds
they all
crazy.
Start to blend together.
Oh yeah, I mean, like once I get through. And my brother gives me shit all the time because he's like, man, you literally will sit there and watch Joe's, JD's, Fabe, and I'll go down the list. You know what I mean? I'll go down the list and just, I'll watch Russo's. I'll watch Russo's and I'll watch this. And people are just like, but you're watching the same thing. And I was like, yeah, but people have different opinions and thoughts. And it's cool to hear what's what. You know what I mean? It's got that weird dynamic that makes you think like, oh, could they... if Joe likes it, then Russo, because there's a lot of stuff that I watch that I laugh my ass off because we'll go on SmackDown or something and put the show over like it was awesome and great or whatever, thinking that like especially with Russo, I'm thinking that Russo's going to sit there and say, oh hey, this SmackDown was great compared to Raw, but literally this past week. He made an announcement. He's like, I'm not even reviewing SmackDown anymore. It was that bad that I don't want to review SmackDown anymore. And I was like, SmackDown to me, I thought was better than Raw. But
SmackDown was hands down better than Raw. So I mean, that's the unfortunate reality that Russo's always been a Raw guy, and that's not going to change. Not anytime soon, anyways.
Oh yeah. See, second one I got under here, the second match that I have right now is the Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho.
Yep,
and I want to get your opinions on it first, Jake.
Not going to be the popular opinion here, but I think Chris Jericho is going to win. They've been booking him pretty decent lately, and with him being the best friend of Kevin Owens, I see them, sticking their friendship together. I like how Jericho made a few different comments both on his podcast and on Twitter about how, they're the champions, even though it's just Kevin Owens at this point in time.
I am the tag team champions.
That's exactly what it reminded me of, Daniel Bryan and Kane, a few years back. And I think that Chris Jericho is going to win this one. I think it'll be through some type of heel tactic, pulling the tights, rake of the eyes, quick low blow, something along those lines. Yeah, but I think it's going to be a win for Jericho.
What about you there, Mike?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with Jake on this one. I usually don't go for Jericho, but yeah, I believe Jericho's gonna swerve. It's gonna be some kind of swerve, like Jake was saying.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna have to go with have to go with Jericho too, especially since
3 for 3.
Yeah, that's across the board, right? I don't know. I think Jericho, like you said, will do something heelish to do it. I can maybe even see him hitting Zayn in the head with his list or something, and then adding him to the stupid idiot list or something like that. But I still can't get over the fact of like we're seeing like when people go, oh, I can't wait for this match, which is going to be a good match regardless. But
absolutely, hands down, this is going to be very entertaining.
I still think it's funny though that if people want to be like, well, what's the storyline to this or whatever, I'd be like, oh, you're his ex-best friend and now I'm his new best friend. That's the whole angle right there. Is I used to be friends with him and now I'm his best friend and you know what it is. You know what it is, right, Mike? It. Yep.
On a side note too, before I don't want to stray too far from the pay-per-view here, but a little bit of an interesting topic I thought anyways is that just rumor and speculation, but I've heard it from several different sources and inside sources anyways, that high-ranking officials in WWE are using Chris Jericho to send feelers to Matt Hardy about signing him when his TNA contract is done. Now, people have reported just about WWE interested. I know JD made a off the script report and things like that. But this is the first I've heard of anybody saying that they're using Jericho, to try and sign, and feel out Matt Hardy. And I thought that was an interesting part. Matt and Jericho are still really good friends. They've been. Matt recently had him on his podcast again for how many times now. They stay in contact. They're always joking back and forth on Twitter. And I guess they're trying to have Jericho almost like, pique his interest and convince him to come back. So I thought that was quite interesting to hear that.
I was going to say, I was just going to make a comment. Like, wasn't it like it was a few, I don't know if it was like a few months ago or maybe a year ago or something like that, where Jericho had made he made the statement that he wasn't coming back to put over younger talent anymore. I mean, he was going to try, but that was not his whole part of his contract was to come back and put over all these other guys and stuff like that. So, and I mean, when was the last time that we actually seen Chris Jericho get like I'm not saying that it would be an amazing win for him to beat Sami Zayn, but like, when was the last time we've seen Jericho get like a really big win besides WrestleMania?
Yeah, a higher profile win. I hear you.
So, I mean, we'll just have to probably wait and see and see where they go. I mean, if Zayn does win, I'll be shocked. But I mean, it will elevate him a little bit. Maybe Sami Zayn beating Jericho will maybe cause some friction between Jericho and Kevin Owens for the future or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see. Recently, he's had wins over Big Cass and Big E, Enzo, things like that. But like you said, I'm going through the Internet Wrestling database here, and it shows defeat. I mean, I'm not exaggerating here. The last win he had was SummerSlam. Yeah. And it's overall, and it's just I don't know. He definitely he needs it. So I think it's about time for him to win.
Definitely. And I think the next match I have on my card right here, if everybody's watching live and sees it on the screen, I got Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Bailey for the Raw Women's Championship. My opinion personally, I think that they're going to end up giving it to Sasha. I know a lot of people are talking that they're going to maybe have Charlotte retain or whatever, but I think that having Sasha win it and then having Charlotte and Bailey kind of chase for it could lead them to a couple more pay-per-views and stuff like that to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go with you on that one, Chris. I believe Sasha's going to recapture what she shouldn't have ever lost. But, yeah.
This is kind of like a random side note, but when do you think, I mean, just only because we're talking about the women's, not just because we're talking about the women, but when's the next time do you think you guys will probably see Ric Flair? I mean, do you think Ric Flair will possibly come back? I mean, I did hear rumors a while back about maybe. Well,
I heard rumors that he was gonna help Sasha at SummerSlam, but that never.
Yeah, and he didn't show. So
exactly.
I'm gonna beg to differ. I don't think we're gonna see Flair again for quite a while. I know he said that the touring schedule is getting to him, and unfortunately, he had a lot on his plate. So here's my thought.
Podcast too.
Yeah, that's true too. He has other things that are keeping his attention focused away from WWE at this point. Plus, I don't really think Charlotte needs her father there anymore. When she first arrived, it helped, made her a little bit more recognizable to casual fans, But at this point in time, I think she's built herself up enough. Just like, Brendan just said in the chat, that's exactly what I was going to bring up. Emma's cleared, supposedly, to wrestle again. I know she's going to be making her return soon. I think that Charlotte's about to be defeated by Sasha. Sasha will have the bank statement in. Bailey will ruin the submission hold. Bailey will take out Sasha, and then Charlotte will defeat Bailey and retain. And I think that going forward, Sasha and Bailey are going to feud with each other, and we're going to see Charlotte go ahead and have new people come for the title, like Emma and possibly even Dana Brooke. Because I also just read a report earlier today that Dana Brooke is supposedly going to get a meteoric babyface push from WWE.
Babyface push? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You said it was Dana Brooke?
Yep. Here, I'll find it right now for you. But I just saw it earlier. Let's see if I can pull it up.
She just reminds me too much of Miss Piggy. I'm sorry.
I mean, they even said that on Raw the other night.
I know. I couldn't believe it. And that's the thing that drives me crazy when, I had mentioned something on Twitter, and I